Let's do this. Here we are. And today I am excited as I invite you into just really this ongoing journey where I am wanting to awaken the dreamer within you. You're like, what does that mean? Well, ultimately a dreamer needs a dream dealer. Dream dealer. So all of us need a dealer. Who's your dealer? I am Julia Gentry today. I am your dream dealer. And so because I'm your dream dealer, I wanted to support you and just this kind of journey over these next couple of weeks live to invite you into a morning routine that is going to help you launch your dreams, grow your dreams, and I don't know, maybe help you storm after your dreams. So this week, I'm really going to focus in on how to not quit your dreams. Can we talk about how to not quit your dreams? Your dreams matter. You know that. I'm a voice for that. But here's what I would also like to propose. You not quitting also matters. It really, really, really matters. And it's funny because even this week, as I was preparing my thoughts around this and really wanted to pour into you and give you some insight on this topic, I had a wonderful run in with someone at the gym who I don't know still to this day. But there is this whiteboard in this gym that I go to, and it's more of a private gym that's connected to our office. But I write on this board, aren't you curious what it would look like if you didn't quit? And I found myself writing this on the board when I was like not pre, middle of my push-ups, right? I'm in the middle of my push-ups and I don't want to do another one. And I'm committed to being able to do more push-ups this year. I actually want to be able to double what I'm able to do straight through. And I found myself wanting to quit. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, all right, I don't have to do all these and I can do more tomorrow. And all the things that we do, all the things that we as people do, right? Like we set a goal, we set a dream, and then we find ourselves like negotiating. Anyone been there before? Any negotiators out there that you're like so good at negotiating your way to not completing something that you should really just be a negotiator for your full-time job? Yeah, that would probably be me too. So I'm like negotiating my way through this. And then finally I just stopped. I was like, JG, we don't think that way anymore. Steal that. You can steal that. The minute that you find yourself en route to giving yourself every reason, explanation, and excuse as to why you should quit, you need to say, we don't think this way anymore, and we will not quit our way to success. Quitting doesn't get us there faster. And so I said to myself, what would it look like if you didn't quit, JG? Aren't you curious? So instantly I got done with my reps and I went and wrote it on the board. Now, a couple of days later, I showed back up and someone had written, not really. Not really. No, not really. I'm not really curious as to what will happen if I don't quit. And it took me a couple days, let's be honest. I was ready to like, I don't know, show someone who's boss. Like I was ready to be like, someone needs the truth. Like I was like doing all of the things. And then ultimately it really dawned on me that I realized there's ultimately two types of people in the world. And I believe that if you're watching this today, that you are of the latter. But the reality is there is the type of person who ultimately says, no, I'm not curious as to what it's going to look like. I'm either not going to start or I'm going to quit. I don't really care that much. Great. There's those types of people. Here's what I'm going to say to you. Do you? If that's you today, do you. Don't set a goal. Don't complain about not having a goal. Don't complain about not accomplishing your dreams. Like, do you. Like, love your life. Do you. I have no problem. I think the issue becomes if I don't set a goal and I'm not willing to stick with my goal, if I don't set a dream, I'm not willing to stick with my dream, it's the issue always becomes now when I'm complaining and grumbling about why I don't have what I want and why the world only happens for those types of people and why I'm a victim to all my circumstances, and we cannot do that. And then there's other types of people. And those are the people like you who are committed to their dreams and they are willing to do whatever it takes. And here's what I have found that those people have that the first group of people don't have, which is what I want to talk to you today. It is a not quit plan. I don't want you just to have a dream. I actually want you to have here's my not quit plan for my dream. Because yes, you're right. Getting clear on your dream, that's part one. Understanding how to get to your dream, part two. Having the conviction to stick with it, part three. Not quitting, part four. I just skipped to part 4. We're going to have a not quit plan. And it's super important today. And the reason that I think this is so important is because of a few staggering statistics that like kill me, like they kill my soul. That being that even if we're thinking about New Year's, just ultimately because really that's the time that most people are thinking about their dreams and their goals. So it should be a basis of really good information that tells you and I how many people are driving towards the things that they want most. And believe it or not, only 38% of people actually set a New Year's resolution. That means 38% of people have a dream for the new year. That's so sad to me. And it's our reality. 38%. Of that 38%, only 80% will still see that goal, that dream through the first 30 days. What does that mean? They quit within the first 30 days. Within the first 30 days, y'all, which tells me they actually weren't clear in their dreams. They didn't want it that bad enough, or they didn't have what I want to talk to you about today is having this not quit plan. Then of that small percentage that might even make it to day 31, there's only 9% that actually make it to the finish line of their dreams, which is probably why we aren't really excited about starting a new one. Because why in the world would I start a new one if I'm not even accomplishing the last one that I had? It would make sense. But here's what I think is important for us to understand about this process when we're thinking about having a plan to not quit. And the most important thing is understanding the reasons as to why we quit. Right now, I think that for most people, we think that our dreams are designed to make us feel good. That's really reason number one, is that we think that our dreams are here to make us feel good. And generally, anytime you've set a dream, had a vision board planning party, come up with new goals for the new year, in that moment, in that hour, in that afternoon, it does feel good. You feel great. Endorphins are flying, possibility is everywhere. The sky is the limit. It's incredible. And you feel so good in that moment. You are so empowered in the moment. You can see clearly in that moment. And then you wake up the next day and you start moving towards that goal and you do a few push-ups and you make a few phone calls and you stop eating sugar, you stop drinking wine, and all of a sudden you go, this is not empowering. This is not empowering. This is not fun. And why the heck did I set this? Why I don't want this dream? Why? Because we think that our dreams are designed to make us feel good. But here's what you have to understand. They're not designed to make us feel good. They're designed to make us be good. They're designed to make us become everything that God created us to become, which means that they're going to refine us. It means that they are going to challenge us. It means that they're going to those rough edges, they're going to round out the rough edges. They're going to make us look at the lies. They're going to make us wade the waters of the truth. And this is ultimately why, no, your dreams are not going to make you feel good, which is why I think some people quit. It's number one reason why people quit. They think they're supposed to make you feel good, but they don't. Number two reason why we quit. We think it's about the dream. We think it's about the acquisition of the dream. We think it's about the there. We think it's about the end goal. We think it's about the win. So when we're not winning, when we're not thereing, when we're not acquiring, when we're not crossing those finish lines on the daily, we grow weak and weary and tired. Why? Because we think that it is about the dream. It's not. It's about your character. It's about you. You want the dream. God wants you. He wants your heart. He's about the person that is en route to the dream. He's not about the dream. Because remember, from his perspective, it's already done. He created the beginning with the end in mind, which means now everything is just a process of fulfilling what he has already accomplished. And so for him, it's not about there. He's already there. It's about you. And so that's the second reason why most of us quit, is because we think that it's about the dream and the win. It's not. And then even those of us who are winning and we have crossed finish lines, the problem starts to become that we start to go, oh man, why am I still not fulfilled? And I should just do more and more and more and more. And then we do, myself included, and we start to think, well, that's going to make me feel better. And that's going to make me feel better. It's not. It's about our character. It's about our heart. It's about the fulfillment of our potential. Another reason that we quit is that we think that the path of least resistance is the way. we have a goal to lose 30 pounds, and so we think that the blue pill is going to be the thing. You like that one? I see you. I see you. I love your comments and posts, by the way. I'm gonna read them. We're actually gonna get to a whole series of Q&A. I've got so many questions from you guys that I'm gonna give you some insight at the end. I'm gonna answer some of your direct questions. But we think that the path of least resistance is it. We wanna write a book, and so we use AI. Mm. And we wanna be famous, and then we're like, "Okay, can you get on the stage now, and are you living what you wrote, or is it just AI?" I think AI is a great tool. ChatGPT, great. I think that's awesome. Until I would ask you, are you proof of the words that have been written? Does your life equate to the process that you have suggested? The path of least resistance will never make us proud. Thank you, Tony Robbins. Love that quote. And it's really true. But most of us think that the path of least resistance is the ideal path to our dreams. That's actually not true. And it won't make you proud. What's going to make you proud is doing the right kind of hard well, building the strength to not only get to where you want to be, but ultimately being the character that's going to help you hold the blessing of where you want to be. That, my friends, is not what the world is telling us right now. Our world is telling us to microwave it, to hit the like button, to hit, get there as fast as you possibly can, to do all the things yesterday. Oh my gosh, as I'm saying this, I'm convicted. Makes me want to get into my journal and everything that I found myself writing today and be like, "You're okay. You're okay, JG. You're okay." Why? Because that's not it, and that's why we quit. Is that when it gets hard, we think we're doing something wrong. When it gets hard, we think that God is out to get us. When it gets hard, we think that we'll just abort mission. That would be easier. It's not. Number four, fourth reason why we quit is we think the pressure. To my last point is that we're doing something wrong. You're not. The pressure is a privilege. The pressure is a privilege, and we know that when we're doing push-ups, that actually the pressure isn't going to break us. It's going to make us into who? The fullest potential. Fullest potential. And so the pressure doesn't mean that necessarily something is wrong. It means that it's just asking you, what do you believe? And are you willing to keep leaning in? It's an invitation. That's what I'd like to suggest. That the trial, the obstacle, the pain, the hard in front of you, even right now, is an invitation to you. And it's just simply asking you, what do you believe and how bad do you want it? That's why we quit, though, because we're like, hey, I don't know. I don't think I want it that bad. Okay, great. Then don't want it that bad. Then don't want it that bad. If you don't want it that bad, then don't complain about it. Like, cross that off your list, take it off your vision board, like, do yourself a favor and stop the chatter and just like take that off the list. You're allowed to do that. But realizing that being the reason that you quit isn't going to work. And last but not least, the fifth reason that we quit is we think that we need a big dream. We think that we need this big dream. We think that we need to just have more for the sake of having more. We think that because someone's doing it on Instagram or YouTube, because we did it last year, that we need an even bigger dream. I'm working with people in real estate right now who the last 2 years have had an anomaly of years. And they are feeling the pain of disappointment because this next year isn't going to look better than last year. Well, the problem with that, though great, we all want to continue to grow every year, is that every market cycle is different and the season that you're in is different. And so if we're only asking to double this year from last year, we're actually not looking at this in wisdom. We're looking at this from a place like, well, we'll just double it. Well, we'll just double it. And we're setting ourselves up for missed expectations. And so what we have to understand is this is not about the big dream. This is about the bold dream. And our bold dreams aren't just about more money. Our bold dreams need to be not just more money to make, but how do we want to invest? How do we want to sow into the relationships around us? How do we want to grow in our health and well-being? How do we want to grow spiritually? It's a growth goal. It's a character shaping goal. It's a bold dream that says, look, I'm going to do my part in everything that I know how to do, but I want to leave room for God to do what God's going to do in and through my life. It's not about big, it's about bold. The definition of bold is just the willingness to do it even when you're afraid, the willingness even when you don't know how, the willingness to surrender to go, God, that's what I want most. Not big for the sake of big for the sake of fancy, big, bold for the sake of real. So that's why you're going to want to quit. That's going to make you human. That's not going to make you crazy. Now, what is the point of today? A not quit plan. What does that mean? That means today, at the sound of my voice, I want you to clarify again, what are your dreams? I do this almost every other day. Well, I will rewrite the bold dreams that are ahead of me for the point of focus so that I don't get lost in all the dreams, that I'm focused on my bold dreams. As a team, we call these our BHADs, bold, heavenly aligned dreams. And I rewrite them for the point of repetition, for the point of focus, so that I don't get distracted. And because from them, I build out what I'm going to do next, right? But here's what I also want you to do. I want you to write down your bold dreams, right? One right now, just for the sake of the exercise. I want that bold dream written down, right? And the one ultimately that you're most afraid of quitting, like you're like, I don't want to quit this. My life needs to move in this area. I want to see the impossible in this area. I want you to write it down. And then I ultimately, right underneath that, I want you to write, what are 3 things that I am going to do when I want to quit? It's not a matter of if you're going to want to quit. You will. And that does not make you crazy. That does not make you weak. It makes you human. And it means that there will be pressure and obstacles and hurdles and question marks and all the things. And so stop worrying about if you're going to want to quit. You will. Great. Now, when you want to quit, then what? When the time comes, because it will, maybe tomorrow, maybe this afternoon, maybe 30 days, maybe 6 months from now, when you want to quit, what are 3 tangible, practical things that you can do to not quit? This would be as simple as I will join Dreamstorm, Julia's mastermind group, because there is built-in accountability. And once I go public, I will have a group that could support me, and I will join a mastermind group to support me. That's number 1. Number 2, maybe you go, I'm going to put $500 on the line. I'm literally going to go public and say that if I don't do this, then I have to give up $500. I've literally had people do that. I have to pay $500 to an organization. Not that we don't want to support them, but I don't want to lose $500. I've had people say that. I've had people phone a friend. This is not an accountability partner, right? I believe that the point of this is to build the fire within you to be your own accountability partner, but to have a support team, someone who says, hey, I want to quit today. And they already know they're primed and ready to not let you tap out. My husband is this for me. I have a team. My staff is this for me. They know my bold dreams. And when I call them feeling weak, when I call them feeling vulnerable, they don't go, okay, well, maybe you're doing it wrong. Let's not do it. They go, all right, no, we hear you. What do you need to support you in this process? Because you got to keep going. Phone a friend. What are 3 things that you are going to do to not quit? It's simple. It's really simple, stupid hard, which is why I'm encouraging you to do this. It will only work if you work it. You need a bold dream. Then you need to recognize that you're going to want to quit. And then you're going to need a plan to not do that. It's dope. Let's land on this verse that I think is going to give us some insight. Hebrews 12, verse 1, it says, as for us, we have all of these great witnesses who encircle us like clouds. So we must let go of every wound that has pierced us. What does that mean? Every disappointment, every lie, every limiting belief, every bad habit, every pattern, every memory that doesn't serve us, all the things, all the hard things, all the offenses. We must let go of every wound that has pierced us and the sin that we so easily fall into. If you look at the footnotes, that means unbelief and doubt, by the way. We have to let go of the physical things that have happened, the mental things, the emotional things that have happened, the unbelief and the doubt of God's promises, literally what it's saying, and the sin that so easily entangles us, the habits, the patterns, the routines, the things that you're doing that you know are not going to get you to where you want to be, so that we don't fall into them. Then we will be able to run life's marathon race with passion and determination for the path that has already been marked out before us. This proves my earlier point. God's already marked out the path. That's on him. What's on us is that we are letting go and prepared to let go of the things that will ultimately cause us to try to quit. The Bible's saying that you got to let go of those things. And then we look away from the natural realm and we fasten our gaze onto Jesus, who birthed faith within us and who leads us forward into faith's perfection. It says, because of his heart was focused on the joy of knowing that you would be his, he endured the agony of the cross, conquered its humiliation, and now sits exalted on the right hand of the throne of God. What am I here to do today? To remind you that you need to fasten your gaze on the things that God has put within you. Fasten your gaze on him. Fasten your gaze on where you're going. And then you've got to let go of the areas that you're going to cause you to want to quit. And you need that plan right in front of you, prepared and ready to go so you don't quit. That's what you need. Those 3 things that you wrote down, you were going to work them like you work them. You got to work them as though they work. Why? So that you also can sit down at the throne of God, proud of what you did, knowing that you overcame hard things and ultimately achieving those dreams. This is what we do. So 2 steps before I jump into Q&A, because I love this and I want to answer. We've got so many good questions. Number 1, I want you to join me for this mini series that we are going through. And it's going to be on the weekly. What is today? Friday. My gosh, every day, every Friday at the same time. I want you to join me for this mini series. If you didn't get to watch last week's, go back and watch last week's. Mark your calendar for next week, same time, same place. I want you to join me for this ongoing series to support you. But then number 2, right now, I want you to go to thejuliagentry.com/align. And I have a mini freebie course that actually walks you through my morning process. So when I told you that I get up and I write my dreams down, it's in the midst of a process that I have created to master your morning routine in 15 minutes a day so that you can build the mindset, heart set, and dream set to not only clarify your dreams, but to not quit and to know the right action steps towards doing that. So I'm going to gift you that today. If you go to thejuliagentry.com/align, that is yours. It's going to blow your mind, open your heart. You're going to love it. It's changed my life and thousands of others that are walking through this process currently. We are seeing currently downloads like crazy of people who have gotten to this point of reading the book and they're like, I want more, I want more. This is where you get to do more. And we would love, love, love to have you part of that community and part of the movement that we are creating and seeing dreamers awaken and align. Now, for those of you who have to go, there's my morning spiel, but I wanted to answer just a couple of questions from y'all, which I think is really cool. From Mary. Mary says, I have always been a night owl and I've struggled to get up early in the morning. How do I start to change my habits of going to bed late so I can get up earlier? Simple. Stupid hard, Mary. How do I do it? You just start. 2 hardest days is the day that you start and the day that you want to quit. So you've just got to start. So what does that mean? If you want to get up 15 minutes earlier, go to bed 15 minutes earlier. It's truly what I did. When I first started my morning routine, y'all, it was in quiet desperation and I just needed new results. I needed something different. And so I was just out of having my 5th baby. So, moms, like, we're up 17 times a night. I did not want to do this, but I needed to. So I said 15 minutes, God, you got 15 minutes. Right? Like, how many of us, like, God, test, you got 15 minutes. So I didn't over exasperate it. I didn't wake up 17 hours earlier. I woke up 15 minutes earlier, which means I went to bed 15 minutes earlier. Then it started to work. So I started to get up 30 minutes earlier, which means I went to bed 30 minutes earlier, until the point that now I wake up almost every morning, 4:30 on the dot, which means I'm in bed by 9:30 every single night. And my body, your body will get used to the cadence. So however much earlier you want to get up in the morning, just start going to bed that much earlier the night before. Just start and then don't stop. Julie asks, what is a tip on creating the best atmosphere or spot for my arise and align time in the morning? I would say a couple of things. I think if we're not careful, we could lean too much on all the things to do the thing. So I have literally found myself doing my arise and align in the morning in my closet, like in my closet, so that my children couldn't hear me. I have done it in the most like stale room. My husband's office, he calls it his beat laboratory, but it's like white walls and it's like super stale. I've done it there. I've done it in the gym. So I don't want you to be busied by having all of the things, but not actually do the thing. Okay. So that's my first answer. But my next answer is I started truly by going, where's my favorite place in my home? I love my couch. My husband's like, we're not paying that kind of money for your couch. I was like, yes, we are. So we did. I love it. It's the comfiest, best couch in the world. I also got my favorite blanket and my favorite lighting in the room. And so that is ultimately, it's a place that I love to be. And that has supported. So sure that there are some times that you just got to find a spot, do the thing. right? And then there's other times that you just simply find your favorite spot in the house and you make it your favorite spot. So you continue to ask yourself, all right, what else do I need in this room that embodies what I'm wanting to do here, that I feel safe, secure, stable, creative? That's a great place to start. Next, Sarah, where can I buy your dream journal? Oh my gosh, you're the best for asking. If you go to thejuliagentry.com, you can get my journal. Also, if you write dream 10, you can get 10% off that thing. Any product, by the way, book, workbook, the whole dream suite if you want. But go to thejuliagentry.com. You will find the journal. Also, if you go to .com/align, don't forget you can get that full morning routine or just the simple download, the PDF of my dream journal. I give that for you for free as well. We'll do one more. Otherwise, I could stay here with you all day, but I'm going to do one more and then we'll save some more for next week because you've got some incredible questions. Aaliyah wants to know, how do I bring my family into the process? I know my husband also needs a more aligned morning routine, but anytime I bring it up to him, it just sounds like I'm nagging. Oh man, I totally get that. First and foremost, this morning routine is not just for women, though we're really catering this course to my women because I think it's really easy for us as ladies to get so preoccupied by doing all the things and so weighted down by our sometimes false responsibility as a mom that I really, was targeting you guys. But my husband does this routine with my journal, same process. So for me though, when I started this, I did it for me. I didn't do it for him. I didn't do it for his growth. I didn't do it so we could collectively do it. I did it for me. And what that did is it released me needing him to do it too. Right. And it released me from like, you do you. And then over time, I can remember when Travis actually started to lean in, asking me questions because he was seeing the transformation in my life. He was physically seeing the difference that I was mentally, emotionally, and spiritually showing up as a wife and as a mom. Then my morning routine also included a different workout routine so he could tell my body. And it was my opportunity to start sharing my heart. And by sharing my heart and what I was doing, it created the atmosphere for him to lean in and get curious, which is ultimately when one day, I'll never forget it, he says, "Do you have another journal?" And I was like, I mean, maybe. For you, or is it like a friend? Or he's like, "Yeah, I want." I was like, "Yeah." Right. That's number one. Now, number two, let's say your husband doesn't do that and you want him to. Here's the number one thing that my husband and I say to each other all the time. I want to invite you into my process. That's what you need to do. People don't want to be challenged right out of the gate of something that they're not doing. They already know that. There's a million things running through our heads, that all the things that we're not doing. But when you say to someone, I want to invite you into my process and I want to share with you this alignment time that I'm having and what it's doing. And I want to talk about what this means in your life. I want to talk about how you start your day. I want to talk about how we start our day. Are you open to having that conversation? If they say no, and you go back to prayer and you pray that God moves in their heart, generally people are going to go, oh, yeah. Like they want to be a part of your process. And you ask, can I be a part of yours? Then it opens up a conversation so it doesn't feel like you're nagging. It lets go of false expectations and allows you just to come together in a journey together where you get to start talking about your process. It's amazing. Y'all, this is what it means to have a morning routine that's connected to your dreams, which is why I'm here the next couple of weeks, just walking you through this process, giving you some tools for your tool belt, and ultimately supporting you and ensuring that you will not quit. Repeat after me. I will not quit. I will have a plan to not quit. I will follow the plan to not quit because my dream dealer said so. You got a dream dealer. You got a dream dealer. It's JG. Okay. So stay the course. I will see you next week. Same place, same time. And of course, do not forget right now, go to thejuliagentry.com/align to get you started today on a journey that I promise you'll thank me for later. Until next time, team, we will